Real Harsch Master Class, finishing a banana. Um, in fiction, you can skip this ad in 3 days. And that's true. I've checked on that. I've found out some of the people who have watched my videos more than once. And they say, yeah, after 3 days, everything's cool. Well, if you've watched any of my videos, very little, at least that I'm responsible for. And you probably won't know much after this one either. So, why don't you just take off, motherfucker? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I just don't want you to get the idea that I think that I'm purveying, convoying much. But what I want to talk about today is something that I wanted to say at the end of the sentence. If you watch my videos, that the community of writers, the idea of a community of writers, the idea of the way writers treat each other is of extraordinary importance to me. And in fact, the last video I did, the second to last that was posted, was about the shameful behavior of a writer directly towards me. Give your dog a bone. Anyway, I didn't get a bone. He wouldn't give me a bone. The other one I did before that, but was posted after that, was about Southern writers. So occasionally I'm going to break into the Southern, and Iqbal Pidlawala, Give Your Dog a Bone, summarizes both my previous poems. They weren't poems. Prose poems? Fuck, who knows. Anyway, this one is about writers helping writers. And as you know, I have my masterpiece, The Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas, um, truly a book that should be published, and will be. It will be. And has been by Corona Samizdat, but I would like it to have a U.S. publisher and be treated with respect. Anyway, but what I won't do is I will never seek another agent. But what happens when you have people trying to help you get your book published is they come up with a lot of ideas. They use connections that they have. And one of the people who's been very, very kind and tried to help me knows of a publicist who has occasionally worked as an agent and most recently worked as an agent on these terms. The writer had to pay a monthly fee, and if the man the agent sold the book, the money that went towards working for the writer would go towards paying the agent. So, in other words, if the book sold, any monies that the agent accrued would have been paid up to a certain point by this monthly fee. Now that seems, at first glance, more reasonable than it really is. As far as this person is concerned, I just think it's funny. I don't have much time for agents. And then for agentry to be done, he says he doesn't do it on spec anymore or something. But what you end up with in this situation, well-meaning folk and all, is the writer who is the weakest economic link in the process that requires only the writer. Only the writer is required. The publisher isn't even required. The writer can publish himself with notebook paper and staples. And a typewriter, or a pen, or a pencil. There is absolutely no inherent need in the literary world for an agent or a fucking publisher. A fucking agent or a publisher. There is no need. But the way it is right now, that's how it works. And And so the writer, the one person required by this, is at the bottom of the financial pyramid, pyramid, perfidy. That's what we're looking for. That's perfidious. Anyway, so the writer at the very bottom of this is being asked by the agent, sometime agent, yeah, I'll do you the favor of typing up some letters, talking to some friends, and you just got to pay me first. God damn. Agents have no fucking limit to their selfishness. I mean, this guy apparently has another job, and he's not going to take the time out. He said the writer was very talented, and he didn't sell the book, but he talked about how much attention it got. He got all that attention from, I won't name any presses, but, from some big presses, in quotes. I have a good friend there. Oh, really? So you got a good friend at the press, and you were able to get his attention? Well, that's a fucking hoot. I got a good friend too, and he's a writer, and he's a good friend of mine, and I can read his books. Anyway, back to the so this guy failed utterly, and it wasn't his idea. It was a friend of mine trying to help me, but it just ballooned into just something to utterly mock today. So I came up with a schemata here. I hope you can read this. It says, here's how it is in the writing world today. You have a writer and maybe an agent, if he can get one, and that may be the end of the story. Or, I'm going to turn the page here. In most cases, most writers are there. That's how most writers have a little line pointing down to the nothingness that is promised at birth and delivered. It's not always that way. If a writer gets an agent, you might get this. That's the way that's success. And if it's the average success platter, is this a platter? Yeah, it looks like this. Writer, a little bit of money. Agent, they make pretty good money. And publisher, lots of money. Let's see if there's another one. I don't remember if there's another one. Oh, yeah. So the writer is at the bottom of the economic period. But let's remove the writer from the chart. What do we have? We have an agent and a publisher. No dollar bills. No connection. Nothing. So then basically the ideal world may, as long as finance, profit, is so important in the literary world, I think what you have in public is this.